in our country, in South Africa, I believe the most educated president we've ever had was President Thabo Mbeki, and the most progressive president. During his term of office, things were happening, and they were happening in a nice way. Of course, he succeeded President Mandela, and then after him it was President Jacob Zuma. After President Jacob Zuma is the current administration of President Ramaphosa. So according to President Thabo Mbeki, I'm going to play a clip. I want you to observe something. He's speaking about the GNU. He believes in the GNU. He's speaking about how the GNU is going to solve the problems, you know. And he's also speaking about how the ANC deals with corruption internally and other matters that I think you're going to be amazed by. I want you to listen to this. Take a listen at this and make your own observations.
But I mean, the ANC leadership engaged all of this, but shared the view that since we've got 40% of the votes, of the votes, therefore I haven't got a majority to govern. Let's approach all of the parties, let all of us come together and form a government of national unity and govern. And in the end, we have these 10 parties that constitute that. And we want, because we want the country to succeed, the economy to grow, crime to disappear, all of these things. And so we wish the government of national unity to succeed. And I hope all of the parties in that GNU are of that same mind, that the problems facing the country need to be solved. We have agreed, there is an agreement that there must be held a national dialogue. It's the first time that our country would be having a national dialogue. Because by national dialogue, we mean a dialogue involving everybody. The political parties, the women's movement, the youth movement, the trade unions, faith organizations, the academia, everybody. To look at all of these problems. And as President Ramaphosa says, in the end, at the end of that process, when the people of South Africa have spoken and said about this, do this, about that, do the other, that then becomes the basis of the government of the country. It's a very, very important intervention. And hopefully, that national dialogue process will then give this GNU the kind of mandate it needs. A mandate from the people as a whole to say, this is what needs to be done. So that they don't keep referring to their own manifestos. But to must refer to what the people of South Africa have said. Also relates to the matter about corruption, which you also raised. You know, at its conferences in 2012, 2017, 2022, the ANC took a decision, one decision for the renewal of the ANC. 3 successive conferences, renewal. It hasn't happened. You will see that in all of these conferences of the ANC I'm talking about, the ANC does a critical assessment of itself. It's in the ANC documents. You will find them on the internet. And in all of these conferences, the ANC keeps saying, the quality of our membership is declining. As a result of which you've got many people who are members of the ANC who are not ANC. Don't support his value system, his objectives, his anything. And therefore, the renewal process of the ANC must include an audit of this membership. Who are these people who call themselves ANC? There's a slogan which has become quite popular in that context: better, fewer, but better. So the ANC has to do that. I'm raising that question because you can't deal with the corruption issue without that process. I'm talking about from the point of view of the ANC. An ANC not renewed is an ANC that will continue to carry corrupt people. So the renewal process becomes a critically important part of the process of ensuring that we deal with this issue of corruption. So that's a matter that fortunately, is very much alive currently. And indeed, the National Executive Committee of the ANC actually took a decision 2 weeks back that it would actually sit for 2 days continuously to discuss this issue. What is to be done? I think everybody has understood that if you don't deal with this renewal of the ANC, you are sentencing the ANC to death. It will die without that renewal. But I'm saying that's the route to deal with the corruption issue. It's not just a law matter. Arrest whoever is corrupt. Sure, let's arrest whoever is corrupt. But we need this political intervention in order to make sure that, I think the question that was raised, the people who ought not to be wearing ANC T-shirts must not be allowed to wear ANC T-shirts. You know, there's the ANC took a decision about people stepping aside. If you are charged, step aside.
You just observe, right? These are our leaders. Many people don't respect President Thabo Mbeki anymore because they're saying he's not consistent with the things he says. Today he can say something, tomorrow he's going to change and say something contradicting what he said yesterday. Some people are saying, nah, he's just reading a mandate, he's just reading a letter, just like any other leader. He doesn't mean what he's saying. I don't know. It's all allegations. It's all based on what people see and assume, or maybe see and analyze. Because anyone can be an analyst, you know. You can analyze things, analyze people, analyze politicians, political parties. You see, anyone can be that. You don't have to get degrees to analyze. We always analyze the world most. Like, why do you need a degree to analyze things in front of your eyes? So, he said what he said. What do you think about what he said? Do you believe him? What do you think about him? Many people are saying he is now a sellout. Do you think he's sold out? Now there's a recent issue that they say the current administration of President Ramaphosa, they were denying him to speak in the funeral of Mr. Tito Mboweni and the family of Mr. Tito Mboweni. According to Tito Mboweni's will, they wanted him to speak. And then Abu Ramaphosa and them, they sidelined him. They pushed him away. Then he released the letter and the speech he was supposed to give. And like nobody cared. You see, it's like it's whatever. People can get away with anything in our country. Usually people who have power, the elites, you see. But what do you think about what he was saying in this clip? Thank you very much.